extra added charges, do you want to see all of the charges tonight or do the current ones right now and then the added charges later?
Yeah. Why don't we just see him on the one that we have, and then he can go back tonight for the added charges.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? I think I changed my mind about that, about Salvador. I think he should probably be seen tonight because the state's recommending pretrial, and I don't want to release him on pretrial and then have him held on other things. So let's just have them all heard tonight.
Yeah, Judge. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry if there was information I wasn't privy to this morning.
No, that's
I
okay.
couldn't-
There were apparently three new charges that I don't even know what they are yet, because we don't have any information on them yet. So we'll just continue him to tonight.
That'll do it. Oh, and by the way, good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry there.
Your Honor, what time did the additional information on Salvador hit?
The jail just told us that there's 3 new charges. That's all we know.
Okay, yeah, that would certainly change the equation. I mean, unless you want me to take care of it now, but if seeing as you've already given the order to the judge.
Yeah.
Or the jail rather.
Yeah, I think we're good. Just seeing him tonight.
Great. Have a seat.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Angel Long Green.
Mr. Green, I'm seeing you this morning on a few different matters. You have a new charge of criminal trespass in the 2nd degree. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have 9 warrants out of Tucson City Court for various charges.
I thought I had a court date on December for those things.
For your city court matters, you last were supposed to be in court in October and you did not appear, and so warrants.
It's December.
All right, sir, I'm gonna hold you on bonds on this new matter. It's gonna be handled out of justice court. I'm gonna hold you on a $250 cash bond, order that you not return to the incident location, and I will appoint Robin Ald to represent you in justice court. You'll be seen tomorrow, November 5th at 1:00 in the afternoon in justice court. And then on all of these city court warrants, I'm going to hold you on a $1,500 cash or secured bond, order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, that you don't return to any incident location. I'll appoint the city public defender to represent you there, and you will be seen on November 12th at 1:45 in the afternoon. You understand, sir?
Yeah,
All right, you're excused.
Yeah.
The clerk? I think the hardest part for me is when they have other, with like, it's pretty simple for felony stuff is when they have also their misdemeanor matters and like sometimes it can even be like Miranda or like other, so just making sure, because a lot of times you'll have the judge there decided to maybe there is more actually well, whether it's secret justice, but sometimes it's misdemeanors both. It's like I to just which.
Counsel? If you're training the new guy, your mic's still on.
Okay, thanks for getting me up.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Charles Center, Hampshire.
Mr. Hampshire, I am seeing you this morning because you have a couple of warrants. I know that you are being held on a probation hold without bond currently. So I'm going to, you've got warrants out of Marana for 2022 cases involving drug paraphernalia, resisting arrest.
Yeah, I was actually in jail up in Florence when those warrants were issued. I didn't get a chance to make it to court that day,
Okay.
but
Well,
I've caught up.
well, you're
For
going to be held, you're going to be held either way on that probation violation. So on these warrants in Marana, I'm going to hold you on a $350 cash bond. I'll appoint Janet Altschuler to represent you. And you will be seen actually today at noon on these matters. And then on your city court warrant, that's for criminal trespass and obstruction. Those are from 2023. On those matters, I'm going to order release, but you're still going to be held on these matters. So you'll be seen if you're still in custody on November 12th at 1:45. I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. Sorry, I misspoke. If you're still in custody, you'll have a non-transport review on December 4th at 1:30. If you do get released on your other matters, you would need to be in city court on that date and time or a warrant will issue. Do you understand?
I understand.
Your excuse, sir.
Video on this.
All right, thank you.
Hey, ma'am, what's your full name, please?
Coralia Denise Mondragon Rivera.
Great, ma'am, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of disorderly conduct and criminal damage. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense. And you are ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I will enter pleas of not guilty for you today. I am going to order, ma'am, that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence. Pretrial services did speak with the alleged victim, Manuel. He said that he's going to, were you two living together?
Yeah.
He said that he's leaving the residence. And so you should be able to go back there. He said that he does not want to have contact with you at this time. So I'm going to order that you have no contact with him and you not go to his residence or workplace. Do you understand that?
Understand.
All right. And then you need to be in Tucson City Court on December 3rd at 3:00 in the afternoon, or a warrant can issue for your arrest. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're excused.
Go back down, have a seat, Pino. Go back down. Have a seat, Pino.
Sir, can I get your full name?
Morago.
Mr. Morago, I'm seeing you this morning because you have a new charge of drug paraphernalia out of Tucson City Court, as well as some warrants out of City Court. And I know that you're being held on a probation hold without bond on a felony matter. So what I will do is I will advise you that you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I am going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you in these matters. And you are ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So I'm gonna, on these city court matters, I'm gonna order that you be held on a $250 cash bond and order that you possess no alcohol or illegal drugs. And like I said, the city public defender will represent you. You'll be seen by video on November 12th at 1:45 in the afternoon. Do you understand all of that, sir?
Yes.
All right, you are excused. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Wayne.
Mr. Pelton, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of disorderly conduct, a couple of different disorderly conduct charges from different locations, as well as criminal trespass. Those are new charges. And then you have a charge from the October 30th of disorderly conduct as well. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss any of your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty for you, sir, on these charges. I'm going to order that you be held on a $250 cash bond. If you were to post that bond, I'm ordering that you not return to any of the incident locations here. Looks like one was a Walgreens and one was a Sprouts. You can't go back to those locations. And you will have a video review hearing if you're still in custody on November 12th at 1:45. If you were to post that bond, you would need to be in Tucson City Court on December 4th at 2:00 in the afternoon, or warrants can issue for your arrest. Do you understand all of that, sir?
Yes.
Okay, you are excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Didn't have a.
Sir, sir.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Ivan Garcia.
Mr. Garcia, I'm seeing you this morning on a few different matters. You've got a couple of new felony charges. One aggravated assault of a police officer and one aggravated assault of a medical professional. Then you have some misdemeanor charges from yesterday as well of obstructing a highway and resisting arrest. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. On the felony matters, I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. On the city court matters, I'll appoint the city public defender to represent you. And you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss any of your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time on the felony matters. The state is requesting a $2,500 bond on each case plus pretrial services. Given the nature of the offenses and the lack of known residents, and 3 out of 3 on the scales. Did defense want to be heard on that?
Yes, Your Honor, may I speak briefly with Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Thank you. So, Your Honor, we would request that Mr. Garcia be released to pretrial services. Obviously, it's not, the conduct isn't great, but there was no weapon involved. It's not clear what was going on exactly that necessitated the stop, but he has no felony history. It doesn't seem like he's inclined to do anything like this, or has ever done anything like this previously. He said that his sister lives over by TMC on Grant and that he could stay there and believes he could make it to court. He also indicated that he wouldn't be able to post anything for bond. So if the court's not inclined to release Mr. Garcia, we would ask for a bond that doesn't exceed $1,000.
All right. I'm going to order $1,500 bonds on each of these felony matters. Those will be cash or secured, released to pretrial if posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and no contact with any victims. And preliminary hearing date is scheduled for November 14th. And then on the city court matters, I am going to order a $250 cash bond. And city public defender is appointed. Video review date in city court will be November 12th at 1:45. All right, sir, do you understand all of that?
Yes.
All right, you're excused.
Yes.
Hi, sir, can I get your full name?
Justin Kyle Briggs.
Mr. Briggs, I am seeing you this morning on a new charge of aggravated domestic violence. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated with you right now. So Mr. Poston, I didn't see the case that you listed on the pretrial services workup. I see he's on probation right now.
Yeah, I guess.
But you listed a 2023 case.
Your Honor, that was straight out of pretrial services website. I'll have another look at that, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, that's a mistake. At this point, the state is not looking for no bond. However, considering the nature of the accusations, we're looking at Ag DV, and very briefly, what I am seeing is that based on the interim complaint, Mr. Briggs Your Honor, what I see, Mr. Briggs has got into an argument with somebody with whom he had a domestic or sexual relationship and slammed the door in her face, onto her face, per the request, and then ran out. And we are looking at this. Apparently is not his first time. We have prior arrest in CR 2024-0730. State requests a $7,500 bond, considering this person is, in the state's opinion, a threat to the individual and also a threat to the victim.
And can the jail confirm there's no probation hold yet?
No probation. No probation hold.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I speak with Mr. Briggs briefly? Thank you.
Your Honor, state also notes that this is the same victim.
Right. Okay, counsel.
Your Honor, okay, so Mr. Briggs, I did review with him that there could be a petition to revoke his probation coming. He still would request release to pretrial services in this matter. He noted that he can reside with his mother away from the alleged victim. He says it's in Marana, so it's some distance from her. It notes that he's employed as a landscaper in the pretrial workup. So we would ask for that if the court is inclined to release him. in the alternative, we would ask for a nominal bond. Again, understanding that it is quite possible that he'll have a hold in relation to probation on top of what's imposed today. So that would be our request for Mr. Briggs.
I am going to impose the $7,500 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial if that bond is posted. No contact of any kind with the alleged victim. Don't go to her residence or workplace. I will put in my order that if you are released at some point, that you can return with a law enforcement escort one time to collect your personal belongings. So you would need to take my order to the nearest police station and have them go with you to get your things. Otherwise, you are to have no contact of any kind with Maria Lazaro, ordering no further acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and no firearms or weapons. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for November 14th. You understand all of that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
I'm sorry, Judge. Which office did you appoint?
it's public defender.
Oh, it's Federal
Yep.
Nelson. Sweet. Also, again, it'll be someone from this could be me, but it could be anyone. So call the defender and they can file a motion and so change that so they can have contact, especially if she wants it. So that's the best thing to do. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Zachary Tyler Jarvis.
Mr. Jarvis, I'm seeing you on a warrant that you have out of Maricopa County.
as apparently the motivation and the means and the desire to kill somebody once they leave jail. $75,000. The state is very, very concerned, and I would point out the answers in the Form 4C that was also submitted to the court this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Defense?
I speak with Mr. Lyles for a moment. Thank you.
Sorry about that, guys. Welcome back.
So, Your Honor, I would like just to start. Mr. Lyles, was the first thing that he observed that he doesn't have any criminal history. I think it didn't note any felony or misdemeanor history. So he doesn't have any DV history. The interim complaint was a little hard. It was a little hard for me to understand some of the beginning about who was doing what, but ultimately, we do understand it's a very serious allegation. It's very clear, there would be not permitted to possess a firearm if released. But he would like to explain or point out that he has no history of doing anything like the allegation previously. He does work. He explained that he's employed at Walmart. The interim complainers, the information from pretrial indicate that either the victim was planning to move out from where they were sharing residence, but also alternatively, Mr. Lyles can reside with his sister at a separate location. So there could be a plan if released where he would not be residing with the alleged victim. But I want to make sure I get this right. I believe it indicated that she would still like contact and doesn't object to his release. So certainly understand that it's a troubling allegation. It's very serious. It does seem pretty out of character for Mr. Lyles, and he understands that it's serious and he's got to not possess a weapon, not do anything like even close to this should he be released. But we would ask, based on the fact that he has no history and he's working, it seems the alleged victim is okay with his release, that we would ask that he be released to pretrial services. In the alternative, if the court's not inclined to release, we would ask for a bond significantly lower than what the state's requested. We would ask for a bond not exceeding $2,500.
And I'll agree with defense that there's some conflicting information. It's kind of hard to understand exactly what happened here and what the victim's position is. She told pretrial services that she wants to have contact with him. And it appears from the interim complaint that it was him that was ending the relationship. I'm going to order a $5,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial services if that bond is posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm going to order no contact with the alleged victim. That's whether or not she wants to have contact. I think you two need to not have contact at this time. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do. I need to.
Right. And so I'm going to order, don't go to her residence or workplace, but she told pretrial that she's not staying at the residence. So as long as she's not at the residence, you should be able to go back there, but you just can't go wherever she's living. You understand that?
Yes.
All right, and then preliminary hearing date is scheduled for November 14th. But sir, if you post that bond, that hearing, just so you know, is very likely not going to happen on that date. You're going to get a hearing at a later date, so you need to make sure you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court. Do you understand? And I just want to reiterate, sir, and make sure you understand that you are not allowed to possess any firearms or weapons. Do you understand? Okay. All right, your excuse, sir.
Just as it's imperative that he make it to work this morning. I understand that you indicated your position on his bond, but he didn't want to reiterate that to you.
I took my manager since yesterday. I'm on my way to become a manager.
Is there any bonds that you can post, sir? Nothing?
No. No.
All right, then I'm going to keep the bond as it is at 5,000.
Usually it's that's not, yeah. Okay. So it's-
What's your full name?
Jamie Miville.
Mr. Mendeville, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of possession of narcotics for sale. There's 3 counts. Possession of dangerous drugs for sale and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint Peter Gutierrez to represent you. And you have counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. The state is asking for a $50,000 bond plus pretrial. I'll hear from Mr. Poston on that first.
Your Honor, this report ticked almost every box for running a drug stash house / dealing operation. Almost 234 grams of heroin, over 8 grams of crack cocaine, over 100 M30s, over 16 grams of methamphetamines, and almost 1.5 grams of just regular amphetamines. There were all sorts of other indicia of sales. I can't even do the math on how many people all these drugs could harm or kill if they had made it out into circulation. This person is dealing with lethal levels of highly dangerous and often fatal substances. This is a danger to society. This is a danger to the community. The state moves for the aforementioned request of 50,000.
Thank you. And defense?
Your Honor, may I consult Mr. Mandeville quickly?
council, we gotta get moving.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Mendeville maintains his innocence on this matter, so we would request release. He's expressed that he's had some issues with previous counsel that he wants addressed as well. He does have an address as noted where he can reside. There's no victim in the offense, so not an issue. So we would ask request release if this court is inclined. In the alternative, we would ask for a bond not exceeding $2,500.
And I'll also note that he's on release right now for similar charges and bonded out. I think at least a $7,500 bond was posted. I'm gonna.
Your Honor, if that's the case, I'm sorry, I didn't note that when I logged into pretrial this morning. The state therefore has a basis to hold him no bond.
Oh, right. You're right. So we'll do a no bond hold then, and we'll have a no bond hearing in Superior Court on November 8th at 2:30. And then there's a city court matter as well that was in warrant status, drug paraphernalia, prescription drugs. I'm going to order a $250 cash bond in that matter and appoint the city public defender. All right, that's all, sir. You're excused. Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
Tracy Pointer.
Miss Pointer, I am seeing you this morning on a charge of criminal trespass in the first degree. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the legal advocate's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated with you right now. State is asking for a $5,000 bond. I'll hear from Mr. Poston on that.
Your Honor, it's not entirely clear from the complaint. However, it looks like this defendant decided to help herself to the use of a house that was vacant. I don't know if it was up for sale. It's not there. She does have prior felony convictions. Her probation looks like it was continued in the past for presumably not accomplishing that which she was ordered to do. We don't have a known residence, which leads to a flight risk. And so, Your Honor, this sort of behavior should not be tolerated. $5,000.
Ma'am,
Yes.
do you have a residence right now?
I can be released to my dad. I can be released to my dad.
All right. And if I were to release you, are you gonna be in contact with pretrial services so that you know when to get to court?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
And then you can also visit the transition center, which is a trailer right outside of the jail, and they can
Okay.
help get you set up with housing, getting a phone, things like that, so that you can.
Absolutely.
It'll help you get to court. I'm gonna order that you be released to the third party supervision of pretrial services. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm ordering that you not return to the incident location where you were arrested.
Yes, ma'am.
Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for November 25th, but ma'am, that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. It's really important that you're in touch with pretrial services so that you know when to get to court, because if you don't get to court, a warrant's going to issue for your arrest, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You're excused. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
John William Wood.
Mr. Wood, I'm seeing you this morning on a few different matters. You've got new felony charges of possession of narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, and then a misdemeanor shoplift. And then you've got a warrant out of Marana for theft and failure to appear, and warrants out of Tucson City Court for failures to appear on a couple of cases there. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney on the felony matter. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you right now. State is asking for a $5,000 bond plus pretrial. Hear from Mr. Poston on that.
Your Honor, this would have been a straightforward PTS release to Step Smart, but for the fact that this person is 6 out of 6 on both scales, has an extensive prison history, has an extensive history of being on probation and then violating probation, vehicle theft, manslaughter, hence the $5,000 bond request, Your Honor. The history cannot be overlooked, and there's a reason he's 6 out of 6, and that begs the attention of the court and the system.
Okay, defense?
Is it okay if I speak with Mr. Wood, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, if I may, would the court indicate whether it's inclined to release Mr. Wood on the misdemeanor matters?
No, I think there's too much of a history of failure to appear. I need to hold him on.
Okay, Your Honor. I would just ask for a nominal bond, concurrent with the bond that you set in the misdemeanor matters.
Okay, thank you. All right, so on the felony charges, I'm going to order a $500 cash or secured bond released to pretrial if that bond is posted. No alcohol or illegal drugs, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. We'll set a smart court hearing for November 12th at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then preliminary hearing date will be November 14th. And it's public defender if I didn't say so already. All right, Marana warrant. I'm going to order a $350 cash or secured bond. I'll appoint Janet Altschuler. And that hearing will be today at noon. And then city court will do a $250 cash or secured bond, appoint the city public defender, and video review will be on November 12th at 1:45. All right. You understand all of that, sir?
Your Honor, I cleared all my stuff with the manslaughter and all my probations and all that. See, I've been going through a lot of stuff this year to do with matters of losing my dad and all that. I'm not, it's not going to do me no good being in jail. I just got an apartment and I just started a little job. I need to get to work.
I understand, sir, but given the fact that there have been recent failures to appear on all of these cases, I need to hold you on some bonds, but you're going to be seen pretty soon on all of these cases, and you can talk to the judges about your situation then. All right, sir, you're excused. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day and a great week.
Good day, Your Honor.